888-971-7243. On this Phone a Bro Friday, my brother and I will be giving away a My Pillow to the winner of Phone a Bro. Both contestants will get copies of Dear Father, Dear Son. More on this in due course. My goodness. 2 other officers, deputies, have been placed on restricted assignment. The head of the agency's internal investigation said the deputies, Broward County deputies, are under review for how they handled 2 calls, including one from November, where the caller said Cruz was, quote, collecting guns and knives, close quote, according to documents released by the sheriff's office. A deputy followed up with the caller but did not create a report documenting it. The separate incident, February 2016, also under review. Sheriff's office said that a deputy responded to a tip that Cruz planned to shoot up the school. The information was forwarded to Peterson, the school officer. The Broward County Sheriff, Scott Israel, said the agency was involved in 23 calls involving Cruz or his brother Zachary since 2008. Meanwhile, the acting FBI deputy director said that mistakes were made.
In this case, we are conducting a full-scale review. I will be briefed very soon on that, but I will tell you Monday I went out there myself along with a team and looked through it, and it's a professional operation. Now, let me be clear. There was a mistake made. We know that. But it is our job to make sure that we do everything in our power to ensure that does not happen again. We came to the American people immediately and said, look, here's what we found, here's what we know, but it is our job to make sure that does not happen again. As part of that review, that cannot happen again. Now, that said, people make judgments out on the streets every day. Every now and then, those judgments may not have been the best judgment based on the information they had at the time. I can do the best I can to mitigate those bad judgments. In this case, I need to build it. We need to make sure that whatever we have can eliminate that from happening. I want to be clear, though, those processes were in place. It's just they were not followed.
Meanwhile, over on MSNBE Hall, Stephanie Rule got a little emotional while talking about Wayne LaPierre's speech.
You and I were together in Las Vegas. I went to Texas. I was at Sandy Hook. To Dana Lash's point, I hate this more than I hate anything else that I do in my job. When I get that call to go to a mass shooting, it is the saddest time in my life. To suggest, I mean, there's all sorts of gross things that have been suggested this morning at CPAC, but to suggest that we enjoy this, that anybody enjoys this, there are dead children. It's just a terrible approach.
But nothing is grosser than going after these kids. I know you and I talked about it a lot yesterday. I continue to have my mind blown with how articulate and how passionate these teachers and these students are. It's like, are we assuming that the classic American teenager just plays video games and, you know, can't complete a full sentence? When I saw those kids last night in that town hall over the last week, and teachers like Melissa, I'm just blown away with their power, their strength, their vision, and their commitment.
The NRA is not just attacking teachers or students, it's attacking the FBI at the conservative
Other extraordinary people who protect us every day.
Same problem, same issue. People who work really hard and have a specific job to do. At the CPAC conference this morning...
okay. By the way, you know... Clearly, people are grieving. Clearly, people are suffering. But if I hear one more time how articulate these young people are, aren't they supposed to? Isn't English their first language? Aren't they in high school? Shouldn't we expect them to be able to string a sentence together grammatically? Now, the Sandy Hook librarian says the NRA is perpetuating a culture of violence.
I think the NRA has lost their ability to understand real life, and I think they have lost their seat at the table in terms of understanding what really needs to happen to resolve this issue. Their only concern, in my opinion, is perpetuating a culture of violence in our country. They don't seem to understand that that's not solving the problem. It is not solving the problem to continue to arm people. That's not going to help. If you think about what just happened in Diana's school, their hallways were chaos. Their hallways, they were evacuating from a fire drill, and the hallways were filled with kids. Try and imagine 1, 2, or 20% or 40%, as Donald Trump just said, of teachers in that crowded hallway. They had over 3,000 students in that school. Imagine a teacher having to be so well trained that they only shot the perpetrator and not any more innocent lives. That's just an absolutely ridiculous concept. And it just, obviously, if Donald Trump thinks that teachers would love those bonuses, teachers love teaching. Teachers love connecting with students and educating students, not being in a combat zone and getting bonuses.
Trump was speaking at CPAC today, and not too surprisingly, this notion that he wants to arm all the teachers came up. Here's what he said.
Frankly, have been reading a lot about it, and I think when you allow a person who's been in the Marines for 20 years, who's done nothing but handle guns and handle them safely and well, because you can't just give a teacher a gun. One of the fake news networks, CNN last night, was saying, I want teachers to have guns. I don't want teachers to have guns. I want certain highly adept people that understand weaponry, guns, if they really have that aptitude, because not everybody has an aptitude for a gun. But if they have the aptitude, I think a concealed permit for having teachers and letting people know that there are people in the building with guns, you won't have, in my opinion, you won't have these shootings, because these people are cowards. They're not going to walk into a school if 20% of the teachers have guns.
The president at CPAC doing a victory lap.
They say 22 people came in with him. In other words, an aunt, an uncle, a grandfather, a mother, a father, whoever came in. But a lot of people came in. That's chain migration. Let's see how those people are doing, by the way. We've got to change our way. Merit system. I want merit system because you know what's happening? All these companies are coming into our country. They're all coming into our country. And when they come in, we need people that are going to work. I'm telling you, we need workers now. We need workers. But when I walked in today, did anyone ever hear me do the snake during the campaign? Because I had 5 people outside say, could you do the snake? And I said, well, people have heard it. Who hasn't heard the snake? You should read it anyway. He said, let's do it anyway. I'll do it. All right, should we?
No, let's not. Let's not. I've heard it before. Let's not. Let's get back to trashing Pelosi.
Small business confidence is at a record high. And thanks to our massive tax cuts, millions of Americans are getting to keep a great percentage of their money instead of paying it to a government that throws it out the window. So I just leave you with this. We have to fight Nancy Pelosi. They want to give your money away. They want to give your money away. They want to end your tax cuts. They want to do things that you wouldn't even believe, including taking your Second Amendment rights away. They will do that. They will do that. So we have to get out there, and we have to fight in 2018 like never before, just the way you fought with us.
That was President Trump today at CPAC. He spoke for about an hour and 15 minutes, and he could have gone longer. I didn't want to hear the snake again, though. I really didn't. Honestly, I just really didn't. When we come back, my brother and I are going to be talking to Bonnie, Orange County. She says officer was inside, then ran out. Is that true? Carol in Banning, California, wants to talk about mental illness. Kirby, Victorville, guns. What about arming the teachers? I'll talk to my brother about all of this. So Bonnie, Carol, Kirby, do not leave town. I'm Larry Elder.
Now and play photo.